time for a Queen City Spotlight, and I have the honor of being joined by FC Cincinnati goalkeeper Roman Celentano. Roman, it is awesome to have you stop by the set. Appreciate you spending some time with us today.
Thanks for having me.
So, need to start off by asking, FC Cincinnati is at this World Cup break, about halfway through the season, really in the thick of things in that Eastern Conference playoff race. Just from your perspective, how would you kind of describe how the season has gone for you guys so far?
Obviously, we're halfway through now, so we kind of have an idea of where we're at as a team. And if I'm going to be honest, we're not where we need to be. We're not where I think our ownership really expects us to be. We're not where we need to be as players at the level that we need to be playing at. But the good thing is we still have a lot of games left. We still have a lot of time to turn things around. But the past couple of years, we've just been competing for, Supporter Shield. We've been in playoff races. So we see ourselves as one of the best teams in the league. And this year really hasn't gone to plan, and, for a lot of different factors. But the good thing is we have a break, coming up to maybe reset, figure some things out, and get back to it the second half of the year.
You said that this team isn't where it wants to get to, but what would you say you've maybe learned about you and your teammates over the course of the first 4 months?
Every year, rosters change, different guys come in, different guys go out. The first part of the season is getting used to guys. I think figuring out what certain strengths and weaknesses are of different guys on the team and figuring out how we want to work together as a group to get wins and get things done. And I feel like the first couple of games, the first portion of the season, we were doing well, figuring things out, and we had a rough patch and things weren't really going well, but I feel like it kind of shows us, what we have to work with when things don't go well. And you don't want to have those lessons be as, getting knocked out of maybe our Champions Cup game down in Tigres, or maybe losing some big MLS games. I think it's, never great to happen, but, you only learn when you lose. So a lot of those games, we took some good lessons, and hopefully we'll take that with us throughout the rest of the year.
You kind of mentioned that, this team has high expectations for itself. You've qualified for the playoffs in 4 consecutive years, looking to do so again this year. But just knowing what the potential of this team can be and what you guys have done the last few seasons, just what is that mentality like in the locker room when you're balancing those expectations?
Yeah, you can never look at the season we're in now as, oh, look how good we have been, look how we were, look how we want to be. It doesn't really matter. All that matters is what we have right now, and we haven't proven it this year. And in years past, we did a great job of, being sound defensively and having our, offensive players take over the games at certain moments and get us results. And this year, we haven't been as cohesive as a group. There's been times we've been good defensively, but then there's times we haven't been good defensively. And, it's a team effort. You can't have one player doing well and, someone else not doing well. So we need to figure out a way to come together as a group. But I have a lot of belief and faith in the group, and I feel like we'll turn things around the second half of the year.
You mentioned those defenders, and you look at your back line. Just how would you kind of describe the chemistry that you guys play with there in the back, and maybe what's your approach to some leadership and communication with those guys?
Defense, I feel like, is an important thing to, be on the same page about. You have to know certain guys' tendencies. You have to know who you're playing with, and a lot of that comes with experience. And obviously, you never want injuries, but injuries happen in the game, and you're going to have a revolving door of different things throughout the season with different injuries or certain guys being in different spots. And, it's hard to kind of get on the same page with certain guys if different guys are in different positions at different times. But at the end of the day, you need to know your teammates. And I feel like a lot of that comes in training, comes with playing games. And I feel like we're getting in a better spot now because I've had time with certain guys, but a lot of the guys have been here. So you have to understand the tendencies of certain guys, what their strengths and weaknesses are, and how to position yourself with that. And also, soccer is a global game, so we have a lot of guys from different nationalities, and some of the guys don't speak great English. So in certain moments of the game, you need to communicate something. You might not understand the English, so maybe learn a little bit of Spanish to be able to communicate those situations.
How challenging are those times where there is a language barrier in the sport? And is there anything that you've done over the years to maybe help with that communication with some of the players?
I feel like the guys do a good job when they come from different places to learn English and try to be on the same page, because a lot of the tactics on the field or video sessions are in English. And we do have some, Spanish-speaking people in the building to help with the communication. But in the heat of the moment, you need to know a couple certain phrases to help guys out in certain moments. So, Evan Loro, one of the goalies on the team, he's a really good Spanish speaker. So in certain moments, he'll tell me if I want to tell someone something, he can give me a couple words for it. So I have a very small Spanish, I wish I took Spanish in high school. I took German, so probably should have taken Spanish to help me in these situations. But I know a little bit to get me by on the field and to communicate with certain guys in certain moments.
You mentioned, too, some of those offensive players on this team. And Evander has had a great start to this campaign. Just what is it like, especially getting to watch a guy like him kind of, take over the field at times?
It's amazing. It's, an honor to play with him. He's an unbelievable player, but a great person as well. He's a glue guy in the locker room. He really gels, different guys together. He's a good leader on the field and off the field. It means everything to win games and to play football, soccer, but it's not gonna, change the way he is as a person. He's still a great guy in the locker room, and just, we have a lot of belief in the ways he can change the game for us on the field. So he's had a great start to the year, so we just want to hopefully get back on track so he's rewarded for his great play.
Now this year's team, it's kind of a mix and a blend of experienced veterans, some young players, returners, new faces. Just what has that challenge kind of been like of, bringing the team together as one cohesive unit? And, maybe is there anything that's kind of surprised you with the way you guys have kind of come together so far?
Every year it provides new opportunities for, different guys on the team, and some guys come in, some guys go out. So you just have to find a way to work with different guys you have. And it's, in years past, maybe the transition's been easier because you're winning games. And when you're winning games, you don't really have to have, hard conversations, or you're not yelling at guys in practice as much, and you're not getting on each other's cases about certain things because things are going well. But when things aren't going well, you kind of see how people react to, adversity. And I think that's been good to kind of understand who we are as people. And I feel like at this point in the season, we kind of understand each other a bit better, and we're going to look to make things right.
Now, earlier this season, you made your 150th appearance for FC Cincinnati, only the fourth player to do so. You're already the all-time club leader in minutes played. Just what do those kind of club milestones mean to you?
For me, Cincinnati's a newer club. They haven't been in MLS that long, so obviously a lot of records are going to be broken and continue to be broken by certain guys. So for me, I just think it's a credit to the team and the staff. And, when Pat Noonan and Chris Albright came in, they gave me an opportunity to come on the team. So I just got to give them a lot of credit for believing in me and giving me the opportunity to play. And it's been, fun so far, but we have a lot more we want to do as a club. So hopefully we'll just keep stacking games.
But I have to imagine it's pretty neat too that hopefully, years and years down the road, you can look back and your name is still, in those record books.
I guess it'll be cool. It's more for my parents than me, but it's just something nice to think about.
Lifted into the penalty area. That's Bauer, and that's Will. That's saved, and that's Surridge, and he still saves it on the line. What a 60 seconds for Roman Celentano.
You're only the fourth goalkeeper in MLS history to have won Save of the Year multiple times now in your career. Just what does that pride, or do you take pride in the fact that you can make, those really difficult saves like that and get recognized for it?
The awards, I feel like, are more for my parents, I guess. It's nice to have those. It's nice to be recognized for that because it's, being a goalkeeper is about moments. It's the hardest thing to do as a goalkeeper is be consistent throughout a season. So I feel like that's more important than making the big save. But I feel like if I'm getting recognized for a big save in 2 years, you can make that ability. You have the ability to make a big save in big moments. And I think, being a goalkeeper, you need to have that ability. And I'm happy that I think I have that. And hopefully I'll continue to make some more of those.
Both of those saves, the one from 23 and 25, were both iconic in each of their own ways. Which one ranks kind of higher for you out of those two?
It'd probably have to be the Columbus one because you're playing against your rivals. Hell's real at home. It's the last minute of the game. And it's one of those saves where you don't think, it's just instinct, and your body's just taking over. And I feel like that's the best place to be as a goalkeeper. When you think, things slow down and you kind of kill yourself in that regard. So in that moment, I didn't really think about anything. My body just took over and I made the save. But it was nice in Nashville too because my buddy, Brian Schwake, he's like the goalkeeper for Nashville right now. But he was on the bench, so it was the first time I played against one of my friends growing up. I'm like, I hope I have a good game today, kind of like show off a little bit. And then we end up having that penalty save in that game. So that was a fun one for me personally. But the game against Columbus in 23, that was probably my best save.
Loved absolutely both of them.
Yeah.
Highlights on replay here.
Thank you.
So this World Cup break, this is something that MLS doesn't experience all that often, obviously once every 4 years. But with this opportunity, what's maybe the biggest benefit that this team could experience during a break like this?
I think it gives us a chance to kind of relax and take the pressure off a little bit. Obviously, we haven't been as good as we wanted to, but it gives us some time to reset, refocus, and come together as a team defensively and get our ideas offensively together. So in the second half of the season, we're ready to go at it again. So I think it comes at a good time. We'll kind of get a sense of, what guys are willing to do for the team in that time, how guys take advantage of the break and where we're at when we come back. So it'll be a lot of games when we come back at the end of July and August and all this kind of stuff, but we'll be ready for it.
Now, your name has been one of the names to watch for the U.S. men's national team. And as you look to hopefully one day make that U.S. men's national team roster, just what part of your game are you looking to grow or expand in hopes that it would, help contribute to you making that the national team?
I think I'm still evolving in all aspects. I have a lot of meetings, a lot of time working with my goalkeeper coach, Paul Rogers at FC Cincinnati, and he's helped me so much in all parts of my game. But I feel like I'm all right now, but there's still so much I want to do in the game and with myself, technically, tactically, like mentally. There's a lot of things I think I need to improve on. So it's just always a work in progress. Every day I'm trying to go out there and get better and trying to do more for the team. But yeah, I feel like to be a part of a World Cup squad, you have to be able to make the big save, but you also have to be able to manage certain moments. So I think World Cup games, knockout soccer, it's that you don't have many actions, but you need to be good in those actions. So I think just game management and being able to manage the flow of the game in certain situations is something I'll continue to work on.
Is that tough to try to, evolve your game over the course of the season, just given how long the season is? Or is that something you try to attack more during the off season?
I feel like you can't really, there's only so much you can do in the off season. The off season is more for mentally getting your mind right, physically getting your body ready. But experience comes through playing games. And the best way to get better is to play games. And I love the seasons because it gives me a chance to go out and continue to work on certain situations that you can't replicate in training. So the games are the best learning tool.
Now, you kind of hit on it earlier that this club has high expectations, not quite where you're want to be at this point in time. So given the fact that this World Cup break is happening and when the team, resumes play in July, what are you hoping that, this team kind of sharpens up as you guys really look to make a push in the Eastern Conference?
Obviously, I touched on it a little bit before, but defensively, we've just been not as great as we have been in past years. We used to pride ourselves on that, and we still do, but things have just fallen through the cracks a little bit. So I think that's one part of our game as a team as a whole we need to get better at, because the offensive guys have been doing their bit. We've been playing well with the ball, but defensively, we just need to figure that out, and then we'll be in a good spot.
Now, fans can only see so much when they watch you on the pitch or, see clips and highlights on social media. But if there's one thing that you want fans to know about this team, like behind the scenes wise, what would it be?
It's a good group of guys. I feel like we have a lot of exciting characters and a lot of funny characters and a lot of guys that want to give everything for the team. So I feel like the fans can enjoy the fact that we have good guys in the team that want to give everything for the badge.
You've been in Cincinnati now since 2022. What's made this FC Cincinnati 2026 team maybe different from other ones that you've been a part of?
I think the adversity. I think just not having everything going according to plan, how everything, we want it to go. I think it's given me a new perspective on how soccer normally works, how professional sports work. It's not always going to be happy days. You're always going to want to do better. Even when we were doing well in 23, 24, 25, it's not all happy days. You're still trying to get better, but this has kind of grounded me in the fact that, it's not always going to go according to plan. It can even go worse than you expect. So you have to be ready for everything and appreciate the good moments when they come.
Something that's always impressed me about this fan base, and every time I'm at TQL Stadium for a game, it's packed, they're loud, the Bailey is going crazy. Just what is it like getting to play in front of such a passionate fan base and getting to wear, the crest?
The stadium is unreal, the fans are unreal, and the noise that's generated throughout the game is unbelievable. It gives us a lot of confidence as players, knowing when we're at home that if we need something and the fans get behind us, we can get it. They give us that extra push. So they're singing and dancing and jumping the whole 90 minutes. A lot of the times I feel like the Bailey's working harder than me because I'm just a goalie. I stand there. I'm just doing a couple things here and there, but the whole time I look behind me, they're just jumping up and down. So they're going there to work to help us win the game. So I give them a lot of credit, and we thank them, and we want to return the favor by winning games for them.
So they truly make that much of an impact to you guys on the pitch.
Of course.
And I want to ask you too, Roman, you've spoken about wanting to grow the game here in the States. Why is that such a passion area for you?
It's given me my life. I think soccer is a great avenue for a lot of kids to kind of just meet friends, an opportunity to just grow yourself as a person, as a player, as an athlete. So I feel like sports are a great avenue for getting kids to develop. And, I was fortunate enough that it helped me go to college. It helped me chase my dreams with this kind of stuff. But even if you're not playing, even if you're a fan or whatever, just come to TQL for a game, see what the energy is like in the stadium. The soccer experience is a different sporting experience in America. And I feel like a lot of people that might not know about it hopefully this summer they can be introduced to it through the World Cup, and it'll be, I don't know, I feel like just people will enjoy the game of soccer more than they thought they would.
How big is it for the U.S. To be hosting the World Cup and really having, the sport on center stage in America?
Yeah, it's massive. Of course, I mean, it's going to be a different World Cup just because it's across, North America. There's a bunch of different cities and it's pretty spread out compared to maybe some other places where it's more condensed in one area. So it's going to be a wide showing of the nation. I feel like it's a good chance for America to kind of show itself with, the spectacle of the games, hospitality, all the stuff going around it. So it's a big opportunity commercially and all this kind of stuff for the game to grow. And I feel like America will do a good job.
Well, hopefully we will see Roman in the red, white, and blue soon. And if you haven't been out to a game at TQL Stadium, make sure to add that to your to-do list. Roman, appreciate you stopping by the studio. Thank you so much for your time.
Thanks for having me.